All right.
Potential with the Metamorphosis Unleashed podcast, your guide to personal growth, health, and wellness. At the Metamorphosis Unleashed, your transformation takes center stage. Hosted by Coach Walter and Coach Dale, this podcast is your go-to source for practical tips, expert insights, and inspiring stories. Tune in for honest conversations, actionable strategies, and a supportive community that's all about growth and positivity. Key topics: fitness, nutrition, mental health, overcoming fitness roadblocks. We also feature interviews with clients, industry professionals, and thought leaders, delivering real advice and relatable experiences. Metamorphosis Unleashed, your guide to unleashing your true potential.
Whatever.
And welcome. You know, folks just making fun of me for no reason. Swear I'm just a ball humbug. Whatever.
Oh my goodness. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah. How many years?
15.
Tracy has put up with you for the past 15
I put up with her
years.
15 years.
No, she put up with you for 15 years.
I guess.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, you got no idea.
And also, congratulations.
Thank you, I guess. You know. I made it past 5 years and past 7 years. So, you know. It's long enough.
Whatever, man.
Long enough.
Let's also say congratulations.
Oh, yeah. We won that.
Yeah.
We did good.
Yeah.
Best in Middletown,
Best in
2024.
Middletown.
At least the business rater we are. Business, what they told us. We
Exactly.
got good scores. Yeah.
Good scores. That's great.
I think our rating is like 4.999997.
4.99997.
And the one bad review we got was somebody who we just chose not to do business with.
Oh.
So they were some bad review.
Well, there you
And they're a vendor, not even a client.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
So technically 5.0. But anyway.
Yeah, 5.0 all the way, baby. How's your weekend?
Not bad. I worked out and had a good chest day yesterday. It was a good workout. Went to dinner. That was about it. What did you do yesterday? This weekend, I should say.
I didn't do a lot this weekend because it stormed so much. We had a lot of bad storms.
Down your way. We went to the Tokyo.
Oh,
Tokyo sushi something. That's
Yeah.
what she wanted. Sushi and steakhouse something.
Yeah,
It wasn't bad. Salty, but you know, all Japanese food is salty. So.
it is. Especially
With soy sauce and all that
and
stuff.
soy stuff. Yeah. But it was a good
It
weekend.
was still a good weekend.
And now we're in June.
Now we're in June.
I've lost another pound.
That's good. That's great.
I am so happy about that. Yes,
great.
those pounds are hard to lose.
Yeah.
Easy to
They
gain.
say
Oh my gosh.
brain cells die, skin cells die, hair cells die, but fat cells got the blood of Jesus.
I mean, I can tell you, for real though. I mean, you gotta just
yeah. Well,
just, they will not let go. They
Wow.
don't let go of these thighs,
it'll be all right.
the hips.
Yeah. That's all you got to worry about.
If that's all I got to worry
If that's
about.
all you got to worry about,
No,
then you must be doing
Did you
okay.
see that TikTok where the little kid called the woman big fat while she was walking by?
No,
To a
the
stranger?
word is
No,
the
that's
little
pretty bad.
girl. The little girl
Wait, I
said,
hope no kid calls me.
I don't need that. I don't. Why not? Because I don't be fat. Well, who knows fat? You, mommy.
I was
It
like,
be your own kids.
man,
It be the
no
kids.
kid will convict you.
The kids tell the truth.
That they do tell the truth. And the little boy was, he was eating ice cream, watching people walk by,
Mhm.
and then she walked by, and he was just like, big back, big back. She's like,
Oh,
no, don't do that. And the woman started apologizing to the lady,
Well,
but I just said, wow,
Hey,
they call it like they
kids
see
tell the
it.
truth. They don't lie.
They don't lie.
Unless they mean to lie. Then they
But
lie.
it's partly kids' fault that you extra weight.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
That is not.
Man. And I think we're back. So good. So Verizon's out here in the hood doing stuff, and I don't know what they're doing, but they making problems and situations and stuff. So anyway, luckily that's why we have two ISPs. Always gonna have a backup. Redundancy is important these days. Listen, redundancy matters. You always have a backup. I don't have a tertiary backup, so hopefully actually I do got my cell phone. So
yeah, we do have one.
We got tertiary just in case.
Just in case. Just in case.
But anyway, we're back. So we have a good topic today.
Yes.
So stay with us for this one because I think you're going to get something out of it. Today we're going to talk about fitness with a purpose versus just showing up. This is a subject that I believe is sometimes misunderstood about working out. A lot of people will just go to the gym just to check the box. I went to the gym today.
Yep.
Does just going to the gym today get you what you're hoping to accomplish? I honestly don't think so. I think you have to go to the gym on purpose, with the purpose, and in purpose in order to be successful.
I agree with that.
And I've found that people who don't have a specific purpose or goal are not as successful as those who have a very clear goal. Whether it's I have a specific weight that I want to lose. I want to get to 155 pounds. Great. Make a plan. And every day you're going to eat, you're going to work out, you're going to walk, you're going to do your squats, do your lunges every day until you get to your goal. And then when you get to that goal, it's time to set a new goal. I need to maintain this for the next 5 years or whatever it takes to get there. We know this because every year people start off with their New Year's resolution. We're going to do this. We're going to lose 87 pounds in 3 months. No, you're not. Okay. 80% of people abandon their New Year's fitness goals. Ready? By March. 80% of people drop off in 58 days or less.
That's true. That's true.
58 days. That's not a long time.
It's not.
Because it was crazy.
But you got the holidays that are in between there.
Ain't no holidays in between there.
Yes, there is.
It's one.
Valentine's Day.
That's it.
That's a lot of chocolate.
And that's not even a holiday. We don't even go there with me. We're going to talk about Valentine's. It's not even a damn holiday. But anyway, So, I
Oh,
think that a
goodness.
lot of people fall off because they don't have a specific goal in mind.
I agree.
They're not specifically attached to having a specific area that they're going to call successful. So, one thing that I try to do with my clients is say, okay, why do you want to lose weight? Or why do you want to gain weight? What specifically is your goal so we can obtain that measure of success?
Yeah.
We talked about making goals before: smart, measurable, actionable, relatable, and trackable. So, how do we measure your goal if it's just I'm gonna lose weight?
You can't.
Bingo. Because if you lose 1 pound, I lost weight, I'm good.
I mean, yeah. Little pound is good.
It is.
However, you're not being consistent, so you're
Bingo.
not going to continually see it.
Bingo.
But I also think it has a lot to do with communication, right? So
Mhm.
you go to your doctors. I'm not blaming the doctors. I'm just saying you go to the doctors. They tell you you're overweight. You need to lose some weight. You need to make some changes in your life. And then people immediately just go to, well, I got to go to the gym. The doctor's telling me to go to the gym.
Right.
But there's more to it than just that. And that's where the education comes into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people just jump into the gym like they jump into a deep pool,
Right.
and don't swim well.
That's right.
And so you end up there, and they
Treading
say,
water.
I hate treading water
Mhm.
on a hamster wheel, don't understand the equipment, but going to try to do it anyway.
That's right.
Come out either hurt or
Mhm.
sore and don't understand the difference, and they quit. So
Exactly.
I get it.
Exactly. So, with that being said, today we're going to explore the main reason behind this. This is a brutal pattern.
It is.
And it hinders
really
our
is.
own success.
It really does.
So, how do we find our purpose? And when we find it, how it can transform our fitness journey, not just for your own personal good, but those around you, because you're going to inspire the people along your track. So, we're going to break that down.
Okay.
80% of people
Mhm.
will quit their fitness New Year's resolution by March 1. Why? Because vague goals and lack of support and having no clear purpose causes that failure.
Frustration.
That's right. Only 8% of people keep the New Year's resolution. 8%.
8%. That's really small. That's a small percentage.
And, I can only tell you that it's the truth. Because I can tell you that we'll get 80 new signups in December.
Okay.
And by February, they're gone. If they've come in at all. They'll pay for it, their 4 weeks, first month, and never show up for it. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I wonder why. I mean, I know why. There's different reasons why.
Well,
There's
it's the lack of purpose.
lack of purpose, lack of confidence, and not understanding what it's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Just knowing what they
having
see.
A plan. Right.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I can't let my money waste like that.
Oh
no. I'm gonna show up whether I sit in here and watch everybody.
Right. I'm gonna be here.
I'm gonna be here.
I'm gonna go to the gym and find out what's going on.
For sure. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just not show up. They just don't show up.
They'll come in, rah.
Money.
They'll come and pay for 2 or 3 months up front. Okay, you end on this day, you pay this amount of time before, and then don't show up.
Wow.
I'll be there. Okay, I'm here.
No,
that's right.
That won't be me.
I know that's right. So let's look at the science on this.
Okay.
Motivation is like a battery.
Yes.
So drain quickly if you don't have a reason to recharge it or a way to recharge it.
That's true.
And that reason and way is discipline and purpose. Right? You got to be disciplined to keep going. You got to have a purpose to give you something to work towards. Motivation just means you start the engine. It doesn't get you to where you're going.
True, but everybody is not disciplined. Like I wasn't a disciplined person.
And that's where the repetition comes in.
Oh, that's
where you gotta, coming and showing up, the motion to get to the gym to the showing up part.
Yeah.
Right. But getting in and working with your coach, your trainer, that's the discipline part. You gotta be motivated to get from your door to your car, from your car to this door. That's the motivation part.
Okay.
Opening the door part, that's the discipline part.
So I've now that's funny because I can remember living less than 10 minutes from the gym, bypassing the gym to get home from work, and wouldn't make it to the gym maybe once a month. When I said I was going to do it 3 times a week,
right
now I'm living
an hour away,
and I don't miss my time.
Not too many.
No, I haven't missed one. Except for when it's okay, wait. You cannot allow bad weather and putting my life in jeopardy and not coming an hour away. That doesn't mean I don't do something at home. It just means I don't do it in the gym. But
you ain't never just stayed in the house at the point. You ain't never just stay home, right?
But here's my point. There had to be something within me that clicked. That's got me coming over an hour to come to the gym consistently every week.
Yep.
The way I do.
Yep, I agree.
That's not discipline, though.
Or do you think it's
part of a discipline?
It's part of it, yeah. It's motivation, it's discipline, but you gotta
I think it was the motivation first. Yeah. I knew if I was going to make this work and I was going to really do this for myself, my motivation was I got to get up and I got to get in the car. I got to drive. I don't mind driving.
And that's
so
your
I
start.
can do it.
That's your role to start. Right.
But once I got in here,
then it takes over. Yeah.
Then at first it was crazy.
It wasn't crazy.
It was crazy.
It was fun.
It was I chuckled a couple of times. I also went home extremely sore a many a time.
Yeah, well, that's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Okay. But the point is that you just got to get yourself there. And the motivation can get you over the fence. But that discipline is going to keep you on that other side of the fence.
That's right. That's exactly correct.
I can give it that.
And here, we've seen a lot of different type of clients.
Yeah.
Big motivation, little motivation, big discipline, no discipline. But one of the things was someone is motivated or not, disciplined or not, there are some days where they just don't feel like doing it. Right?
Does that include you?
Sometimes.
Okay.
But when you remember what your goal is, it makes you remember that you gotta freaking keep hard charging to your goal because you're not there yet. And that's the part, that's the purpose part that matters the most. It's time doesn't care. It don't care if you're tired. It don't care if you're weak. It don't care if you're sore. It just matters that you show up day in and day out. And those are the things that are important.
So even if you show up and you don't do your full workout, but you get part of it done because you just don't feel like it,
you get the rest
better.
You'll get the rest done. And once you're here, that's where your greatness will kick the mediocrity in the face. You just keep going, finish it.
I think what keeps me going is just being able to say hey to people when I'm up here. Because if they weren't here, it would not be.
No, I get it.
A full workout, especially on days when I don't really feel like doing it.
Yeah, well, we all cross those days.
We do,
days,
but they're becoming fewer and fewer.
Amen to that one.
Yeah.
Amen to that one. So let's take a look, folks. If you're watching, I want you to grab a pen and paper, and at the top, I want you to write down why do I want to get fit and healthy?
Why do I want to get fit and healthy?
That's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it.
And then ask yourself why. And make sure that those things are aligned. Why do we have to get? I need to do it. Fat, lazy, got whatever, got kids, what? But then why after that? The underlying reason why. I know I have to lose weight because X. Or I know I have to gain weight because X. So this is why. I want to be healthy for my grandkids. Great. But if you want to be healthy for your grandkids, what is the implication of that? Why do you need to do something to be healthy for your grandkids? What are you not doing that you're lacking to be healthy for your grandkids? Because if that's your goal, I want to be healthy for my grandkids. Well, where are you at right now that'll make it so you're not healthy with your grandkids? What's that other why?
My initial why was because I wanted to get off pharmaceutical drugs.
There you go. And that's the reason. That's your why. I want to be off the meds. And why do you want to be off meds?
Because I just want to be natural. I want to be able to get up and not take pills.
Exactly. So there's your answer. I want to get up and not take pills. And the requirement of that means I have to weigh, be exercise, whatever. Specificity. That's what this assignment is about.
Okay.
It's your goal. Yes. This is my why.
But my grandson is also a why.
Exactly. So if that's your why, and the drugs are a why,
my sons
your
are
son is a why, you know,
sons with an S
are your whys, and you want to be around for us.
Absolutely.
Right? What is before that though? Right? What has to change before that? There's something that you haven't got to get to this point. So if you weigh 500 pounds here, and you know that's going to make your lifespan a lot shorter, well, you want to live longer. Great. But why do you want to live longer? Well, because I know I won't live longer if I don't lose weight. Well, I want to get off meds. I know I can't get off meds if I don't achieve X, Y, and Z.
I also want to be an example.
There you go. So all of those things are all part of your why. It's not just one thing. So, and you can draw on each one of those things when you're in. Some days, you know, I don't feel like getting on the Stairmaster, but today I'm going to show my grandson that even when you don't feel like being on the Stairmaster, you can still do it. So when you don't feel like doing your homework, you can still get it done. When you don't feel like being, you know, all those things are proven to yourself and to others by doing it. And the more able you are to continue on that path, the more successful that you're going to be. So finding the why and the underlying why, I guess the underlying reason, then, you know, you can begin to propel yourself towards greatness. And that's defining your purpose.
So let me ask you a question. You weren't always a bodybuilder.
Nope.
What was your why? Because that
I like girls.
You to be... Okay, now let's get to the real reason why.
I like girls.
No. Because you were in shape, but to become a bodybuilder, you had to change your eating.
To be a bodybuilder. That's because it was a challenge. It was a bet. It wasn't. To be a bodybuilder was just the next athletic thing I could do. You know, being an athlete for 30 years, you can't just stop being an athlete.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, a lot of athletes, when they just stop working out, you know, your heart is one of the muscles that don't really atrophy the same as everything else.
Right.
Like your bicep atrophy, it gets smaller. Your heart doesn't. Once the tissue in the heart expands, you just now have a weaker heart. It's a big baggy heart. And that's why guys who play professional sports or women who play professional sports, if they don't keep up with strength training or cardiovascular training, they're more likely to have a heart attack, heart disease, and things like that down the road. So it was important to me to continue to exercise because I know that from all the years of training, you get a big, strong heart, but the heart doesn't have atrophy the same way the other muscle tissue does. So your heart will turn to a big, baggy heart versus a smaller heart. It doesn't go down the side the same way. So just, you know, for me, that was the
other why.
Plus, I like being stronger than everybody else. Plus you
like girls.
My God. Hey, listen,
I like boys, but
Arnold,
that didn't move me to
but
drop the weight. Like
that's okay. That's okay.
It's okay, right? But I'm around nothing but boys. It's like
right. So I just think that it is important to be able to define your why and your purpose.
Yeah.
That way you can have those things, multiple things, to drive you to your, where you want to be successful, or where you want to be in success.
So I saw you earlier today in the gym while I was working out. I saw you weighing it looked like a high school boy. What is he trying to?
He's in college.
He's in college too?
Yeah.
He's so small.
He's little.
Does he want to?
He wants to add more weight. He plays sports.
He
plays basketball. Division I college basketball player.
Oh, okay. He's short for Division I.
6'1".
Okay.
He's a guard.
He's a guard. Yeah. Okay. But I thought that was really interesting that you've got these really young people who are, wanting to continue. I'm sure their why is maybe becoming a professional,
or trying, or maybe just keeping your scholarship.
Yeah, keep your stop. Okay.
So you don't. That's a great motivator.
But it's the why impacts everybody. It doesn't
Absolutely.
matter the age or what your goals are. The why is always different for every single person.
That's right.
And I don't think there's a wrong why.
Nope, no such thing.
I would kind of think that like girls would be a just playing.
That's a big why.
That's a big why.
Listen,
I'm just messing.
I think that people
you're married now,
not
so
want
that
to
be a
normal when it comes to the health and fitness.
They should not be normal.
Yeah, I don't want to be normal. I don't want to be like everybody else. I enjoy walking in the room and knowing that no one else is out benching me. I like walking in the room and know that I can get there master for 2 hours and you'll die
in 15 minutes.
On the stair, right? I had appreciation for that, and that's just
your
me.
competitive edge. That's
absolutely. I always gotta find the next thing. I'm always looking for the next thing. Like I genuinely believe that by living the fit life and by working hard with folks around me to live the fit life, I'll have something and carved out something in this world of health and fitness that no one else ever has in the way that I'm doing. And it is going to be the example of how these fit businesses can run and be effective, more than just losing weight, more than just how to build a community around a common cause. Right? And now, your whys or your reasons, your purposes can change. So now I still lift heavy weights and I still do competition, not because I have to. I ain't got shit to prove.
That's what I was thinking about, right? So as you get fit and you meet your goal, I mean, most people just don't stop,
right?
But they do modify. But how do you know?
When?
I guess it's a new topic that we can talk about.
Well, I mean, it ties in. It's how do you know when you've achieved your goal? How do you, because you're making another goal. That's when you know when you achieve the goal. When you're making another one.
So when most people reach the goal of losing the next
amount
of weight, some people just stop.
Yep.
And that's why they start getting the weight.
You're right.
Okay. And so I guess then the goal should modify itself to not just losing the weight, but now maintaining
it, keeping it off.
Okay.
It's important that you do find a way to challenge yourself day in and day out and work really hard to be an overachiever for this thing. Right?
I think we all are. It's just in different ways.
Yeah.
Overachievers. I mean, yours is with athleticism and working out, and with others it could be learning. It just depends.
Well, that takes us directly into our next deal: common roadblocks, and how your purpose helps to get through those roadblocks. I can find a billion reasons not to come work out.
I can find just one: laziness.
Right. And to be quite honest, if you have a big enough goal, you have big enough why, big enough reason, it ain't gonna stop you. Because I think that Stephen King has a new movie coming out. It's called The Long Walk, and they get a group of people to get together, and whoever can walk the longest gets this whole big pool of money, right? But that's just it. It's who can walk the longest at 3 miles an hour or faster, and you walk until you can't walk anymore. Only the last person standing gets the money. But along the way, if you stumble or fall at less than 3 miles an hour, you get to the count of 3, or you're out of the game, and your life meter has expired.
Oh God!
Yes, it looks like a very intense movie based on the preview.
Sounds like a very.
But that's what your goal has to be. Your goal has to be that driven where you're gonna go until you seem like you're gonna die, and then when you get to that goal, you add on or change it. But don't change the goal. You can change how you get there, but we're not going to change the goal because the goal is what it is.
The goal is always there, but the why is what can change.
That's right. Those things can change, but until you achieve that thing, stay the same.
Well, if you have a goal and you have your why, and one why is not applicable anymore, so you switch to another why. That will help you achieve, get to that final goal that you're trying to reach.
Right. That's correct.
What if that goal is not the goal you want to reach?
Well, it changes. That's where that metamorphosis comes in. Is you change, your goals can change, and that's okay.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So practical strategies and how to infuse purpose into this. How do you keep up with your purpose at the center? How do you keep your purpose front of mind all the time?
Yeah.
Write it down. Set those measurable goals along the way. Your milestone goals, we talked about those before, along the way, because then you can track your success as you're closing in on the big goal.
Well, I've got mine right on the refrigerator.
I know.
Everybody can see it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So they can hold me accountable. So you hold me accountable.
Yep.
And hold myself accountable. But I was thinking about that when I looked at them this morning. I was like, yeah, I need to go ahead and just redo it, because some goals I've met, and now I need to put down some new goals. So,
well, I'd like you chat to do is in the chat, go ahead and put down your goals, or DM us your goals, and we'll go ahead and reply to them, and we'll keep you accountable to the goal.
Yeah,
because your opinion and your ideas matter, and your goal and your why and your reasons you're not being successful may be the same struggle that someone else is having, and we need you to reply in order to make it happen. So please don't negate that.
Yeah, put it in there. It's funny because I can remember when I first started working out with you. I think my goal at that point has always been to get off the medication. However, in my mind, I figured if I lost 50 pounds, that would get me off the medication, right? But now I don't look at the number anymore. I just wait till I see my blood work, and then if my blood work and the doctor says, okay, we're gonna start weaning you off, then I'm meeting that goal.
You meet the goal or exceeding it, right?
Or exceeding it. But the number is no longer as valid for me as it was before. Because it was really
and that can happen. That can make us get obsessive about a number or stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You have to be obsessed about a number, but it is important to understand what your goals are and how you can make them better. So,
how about if you have a partner? Can you have a partner goal?
Sure. You have a partner goal, your partner can share in your goal too. And it'll hold you accountable. And that's the accountability partner. That's a real thing.
Is that what you and Angelo do?
Yeah. Sometimes. Like, we lift two different styles. Like he's a powerlifter, bodybuilder. So our lifting is similar, but a little bit different. But we work towards a mutual understanding for each other does, so we can make sure we're pushing each other in the way that needs to be pushed.
Okay.
So like for me, going hypertrophy, so really slow reps, is what I shoot for. He's a powerlifter, so down, boom, down. So while the workouts are similar, they're just not exactly the same. So and they require different type of motivation. And spotting and stuff like that. So
that's interesting. So you can have a partner and you can aim for the same goal. Or different goals.
Or even different goals, that's right.
Yeah, because I can see that with me and Val. I'm sure she has her goal. We've never talked about the goals, though.
Right.
But we just know Monday and Wednesdays we're both going to be out here working hard towards our own goals, whatever they are.
And that's the energy I tell you about all the time, right? That's the church-like feeling.
Yeah.
That's everybody's here for the same reason.
Yeah.
Shooting for the same goals.
Yeah.
And making sure that we get there.
I should ask her. I should ask her what her goal is. I mean, I know you know what her goals are because you're her trainer, and I know that's a confidentiality thing, and everybody that comes and shares with you why they want to lose weight is between you and them. But it doesn't preclude you from asking your partner, hey, what is your goal?
That's correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
Okay. I think I will ask her. So Val, I'm going to be asking you when you get back from Atlanta. So you better not eat all that Atlanta food.
That's right. They were from chicken and biscuits, chicken and waffles.
Stay away from the chicken and waffles. The chitterlings.
Anyway.
The hog malls. All that stuff. Don't eat the collard greens, girl. They'll mess you up. They got all kind of stuff in there.
Yeah, we don't say.
We don't say what it is, but I mean, it's just because they're green doesn't mean necessarily they're healthy.
That's right.
I had to learn that the hard way.
Happens to the best of us.
I know. It's okay. All right.
All right. Let's look at the results, right?
Okay.
People achieve their goals within 90 days. People that achieve goals within 90 days are those who stayed on their own path. Okay. They have purpose. And we know that 75% of our clients go from just being a regular member to having me coach them because they want to have that goal and have someone to keep them accountable to that goal. You know, we work on long-term health, not just right now. I want you to be physically fit and able to make good choices when you leave here. You know, that's important to me. So be sure to do something for yourself that's trackable, relatable, and easily understandable.
Yeah, well, you know, we know you're saying make good choices.
Make good choices.
The last thing that you hear when you're walking out.
Make good choices.
Gym. Make good choices.
That's it.
And so I find myself saying that when I went to the grocery store over the weekend. I did do that. I went grocery shopping. I just said, all right, Dale, you got to make good choices. So that meant I didn't have to go on the inside of the grocery store at all.
Sit on the outside.
I was all on the outside, and I was in and out of there in a hot second. Didn't even have to take my headset.
See?
Do you know I used to take my headset and be in there for almost 2 hours? Just listening to music, just enjoying myself. Next thing I know, the dang on basket's full.
That's why you go outside, like you said.
No headset. I just go in. I got
my list of
vegetables and
reading a thing the other day. It said, how bad is this when grocery stores have health food products?
That's crap.
How does the grocery store have health food products? Aren't all foods really healthy?
Supposed to be. Yeah, that's crap.
So, you know, anyway, to put a button on this all the way, you know, having a goal is great. Having a reason is wonderful, but having purpose really makes a difference.
Yeah.
You know, I went to the African American Museum of History in DC.
In DC.
I got a pin and it says purpose. And when I wear it, it reminds me that whatever I'm doing, I have to be in my purpose. No matter where I am, what I'm doing, I have to be in my purpose. So you have to be in your purpose at all times. Your purpose to lose weight. Purpose to be a wellness instructor.
Be a wellness
instructor. Be a fitness coach. Be a fitness coach. Right. So I need you to understand that you can do whatever you put your mind to, you know, as long as you're willing to do the work.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. There's no ifs and buts about it. It's hard.
Exactly.
But when you are always got your purpose on your mind, you can stay within what you're trying to do. You know, so my purpose. So I make sure my that I don't. Well, I really don't even have a taste for fast food anymore.
Good. But
there was a day when I'd be the first one at
all did it.
Whatever, right? So, but as I started changing, I also started changing my route.
There you go.
So I don't need to go through Dover anymore. Although the produce
junction's good, right?
Yeah. It is good, and I like to go there.
Yeah. Right by the Volkswagen dealership.
Yeah, I know. Right. I know that area too well now between my car breaking down and everything. But you know, I make sure that I don't go. It's funny. This may sound crazy, but I actually had to do this with myself in order to get that discipline. It's like if I know there's a fast food restaurant on my right and right off my right lane, then I make sure I stay all the way in the left. So I don't have to worry about bypassing all these cars to get over there and stop. I also start packing my lunch or snack or whatever, something healthy for me to munch on in the car. So when I'm driving, I don't have to worry about stopping anywhere.
Right.
So all of that is in my purpose.
Right.
All of that's my why, right? So you'll find that your behavior will change and it's not a struggle.
Correct.
That is the big thing. It's not a struggle anymore.
That's right.
At one point, it was a struggle. Because my why wasn't there.
That's right. If your why's not big enough.
It wasn't big enough. My purpose wasn't big enough. And so I would struggle. I would come into the gym. I'd work out.
Be lost in the sauce.
I'd be so lost in the sauce when I left out of that door.
I feel you.
You know, but it's not a struggle when you know and you're living and you're staying within your purpose of what you're doing. It's easy. It's not a difficult it's not challenging at all. It's just a way of life.
It's
You
just
understand
exactly. It just changes.
It just changes, and it changes
and
you.
it makes everything easier too.
So we're housing it as discipline, but it's really not. It's really just understanding and living in your purpose.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
So, new saying, live today on purpose, with purpose, and in your purpose.
Live today on purpose.
With purpose.
With purpose.
And in your purpose.
And in your purpose.
That's right.
I like that.
Yep.
We need to write that down.
We
need to put that on that wall over there. Actually, I think we should have a goal wall or a purpose wall.
So I've thought about that.
So people can put it on there. I know we don't have, but when we move into the bigger location,
we might have bigger space, yeah.
We might have it doesn't have to be grandiose, but
right.
Just so they can see their own.
Yeah. So we have the foyer area.
Oh, I got another idea, but I won't do it online. We'll have to talk about that offline.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Good.
I think that would be great too.
So if you think you know someone who could use help discovering their why or examining what it is holding them back, please send us information.
Absolutely.
With their information. We're happy to help.
Absolutely.
Because our responsibility is to make the community stronger, better, faster. And we can only do that from you most of the time.
Yeah. We got you. We got you. We can do this. We got a coach, mental coach, and a physical coach. We got you.
We got you.
We got you. Come on.
Easy enough.
We'll help you through it.
Well, with that, folks, be good, eat good, and remember, not out-train a bad diet. Thank you for coming out, y'all, and we'll see you all in a week.
In a week.